Welcome back, and tonight we're travelling nearly 800 years into the past. Imagine that you've just arrived at a magnificent medieval castle. From the outside, it looks like something from a fairy tale. Massive stone towers rise toward the sky, colourful banners wave in the wind, and enormous wooden gates protect everyone inside. It looks warm, comfortable, and luxurious, but appearances can be surprisingly misleading. If you actually had to spend a single night inside one of these castles, you would probably discover that sleeping there was much harder than you ever imagined. So dim the lights, relax, and let's quietly step inside. As the heavy wooden gates close behind you, the first thing you notice is the cold. The thick stone walls that protected castles from enemies also trapped the cold during winter and stayed surprisingly cool even in warmer months. Unlike modern homes, there was no central heating. Only a few fireplaces produced warmth, and most of that heat escaped through high ceilings or open chimneys. Walking through the endless stone corridors, every footstep echoes around you. Servants hurry past carrying candles. Guards patrol the walls throughout the night, never allowing complete silence. Eventually, someone leads you to your bedroom. You might expect a soft mattress, fluffy pillows, and warm blankets. Instead, you find a simple wooden bed covered with straw or wool stuffing. Although wealthy nobles enjoyed better furniture than ordinary people, even royal beds were often much firmer than anything we sleep on today. The blankets are heavy, but the room still feels cold. Tiny windows allow almost no sunlight during the day and very little fresh air. Glass windows were extremely expensive. So many openings were covered only by wooden shutters or cloth. As darkness falls, the castle becomes even noisier. Dogs bark in the courtyard below. Horses move inside nearby stables. Guards call to one another from the walls. The wind whistles through narrow cracks in the stone. Even the wooden beams above your head creak throughout the night. Then there are the candles. A few flickering flames provide the only light inside your room. Their soft glow creates long shadows across the walls, making every suit of armor seem almost alive. If you've ever imagined sleeping peacefully inside a grand castle, this is probably not what you expected. And then there were the insects. Fleas and lice were common visitors in medieval Europe. Straw mattresses could easily become home to tiny pests, especially when cleaning methods were limited. People washed far less frequently than we do today, not because they disliked cleanliness, but because hot water required time, wood, and effort to prepare. Even wealthy families could not completely avoid these problems. During winter, another challenge appeared. The cold became almost impossible to escape. People often slept wearing several layers of clothing. Some even shared beds simply to stay warm through freezing nights. Privacy was also very different. Servants sometimes slept nearby. Family members often shared rooms. Guests frequently stayed inside the castle, creating crowded living spaces filled with constant movement. Quiet nights were actually quite rare. Food could also affect your sleep. Large evening feasts filled with roasted meat, bread, cheese, and ale often continued long after sunset. Combined with noisy celebrations inside the great hall, peaceful rest became even more difficult. Meanwhile, outside the castle walls, wolves howled in distant forests. Storms shook the towers. Rain struck the stone walls. Everything reminded you that castles were built first for survival, not comfort. Yet despite all these hardships, medieval people considered castles symbols of safety, wealth, and power. Within those massive walls, families survived wars, harsh winters, and uncertain times. To them, comfort meant protection. Today, we enjoy warm bedrooms, soft mattresses, electric lights, and quiet homes without giving them much thought. Compared to a medieval castle, Even the simplest modern bedroom would have felt like unimaginable luxury. So the next time you lie down beneath a warm blanket, remember that hundreds of years ago, even kings and queens often struggled to enjoy a peaceful night's sleep. Thank you for joining tonight's relaxing journey through history. Sleep well, and we'll explore another fascinating chapter of the past in our next story.